you. I promised I'd take your calls, and I've got so many questions, Bob, but I will defer, and we'll see what Johnny in Austin has to say. So welcome to WGN Radio, Johnny.
Well, thank you, Rollye, and Bob, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've been a big fan of your company for a long, long time, and bought a lot of your FM transmitters back before you updated it to the transmitter 2, and but I got really hooked on these Wi-Fi radios back in, I think the first one I bought was in 2013. And
probably, we had some before that, I think. It had
the Ethernet port because I was not a wireless person.
Gotcha.
And I turned a lot of radio engineers and people onto this C.Crane Wi-Fi radio, and everybody I turned on to this radio absolutely loved it, especially radio engineers. And so when the Ethernet port disappeared, that was kind of like, oh no. But I've got 4 of these radios now, and I turned a friend of mine in Nova Scotia, who is a contract engineer, onto these radios, and he's got, I guess, maybe half a dozen of them, and relies on them. And so just recently, when I saw this pop up on the Receiva website that they're basically going away just January 31st, I kind of alerted my friends and say, what the heck's going on? And I ended up calling your company and purchasing a new Grace Mondo Elite about 2 weeks ago.
Well, I hope you got them, because they're out of them now, too.
Now,
I know they are.
So what does the Mondo Elite? It's not using Receiva. What is it using?
That one I can't remember. I think I knew at one point, but I'm not sure on who they're using. There's only 3 or 4. There's Skytune that we're going to use, and I don't know who they're using.
So, do you, Johnny? Who are they using?
Well, yeah. Actually, I was so upset that this Receiva was going away because I've been hooked on this for several years, and I listen to these all the time, and I have 2 of them running constantly on 2 different frequencies on your your in-home transmitters.
Johnny, that's what I do too at home
all the time. And so with this Grace that I just bought, I mean, it's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to hate this. I really don't even want to do this, but I'm forced to do it. And I bought it, and actually, I'm pretty impressed with it. I like it.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And it says Chromecast. Now, I don't know if that's the engine, but
if that's got anything to do with Google, I don't want to go near it.
Well, it's on your radio.
Well, it's not listening to me, I don't think. But I've got this thing. I've had this Grace Mondo Elite, which you're now out of. But I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and I got it out of the package, and I was like, God, I was forced to buy this thing. I don't want it. I like the old one that you had, Bob, with the Ethernet port. But I plugged this in, and I really am very happy with the Grace Elite. And the cool thing about it is it's got the adapter where I can plug it into my Ethernet because I don't do Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Now,
with this new radio that's coming out with you, is this going to be possibly adaptable to your Ethernet port, or is this wireless only?
I'll have to check that tomorrow. I don't think we're going to have an Ethernet port, but whether we could adapt or not, I'll find out.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to know. I think there's a lot of us who prefer it not be Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Because you have a real good tech guy, a company by the name of John, and he's been very helpful with me for several times on the phone.
John is wonderful.
Good. All right, Johnny, thank you for calling.
Yeah, I wish you'd hold him over for a while.
No, well, I'm gonna ask Bob back. If I hold him over, he's never gonna come again. All right, thanks, John.
All right, well, listen, best to you, and it's been my pleasure turning my engineering friends over to your product.
Oh,
well, tell them what we're doing so they can get ready for a new shipment.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's great. Now, wrapping up the hour, and it's moving along quickly, is RJ in New York. So, RJ, welcome to WGN Radio.
Good evening, Rollye, and good evening, Mr. Crane. Yes, I wanted to call and express really sincere thanks and appreciation for what you both do. Rollye, we've talked about this many times, but Mr. Crane, if I may ask a quick question. At the 100th year celebration, the anniversary of radio, so to speak, give or take a few years, as they say, and your journey in it and looking forward, and even back into the past, were there any surprises along the way that you've experienced in your journey thus far, and what are you looking forward to in the future? And I know we don't have much time, so I wish you very, very happy holidays, and I'll listen on the air. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right,
Thank you, RJ.
Good question from RJ. What's the deal?
Well, I'll start with to say I'm surprised every day. Number one. Number two is I was a radio fan from a young boy, and to make a living at it was something I never thought I would be so happy, and I get happy every day. It is a wonderful journey.
Oh, that's great.
But thank you, RJ, and that means a lot. And that you make me happy.
Yeah. Well, you make a lot of people happy, Bob. Again, when you started doing this, granted there was no web, and maybe there were a lot of radios in a lot of stores, but now, literally, you're the lone hope out there for many of us in terms of product. I know the Select 10 is gone, my favorite. I see the Terk, though. Does it do the same thing?
The Terk is not quite as powerful, but it's much prettier, and it does a good job.
Yeah.
And you know, the company gave us the exclusive on it now for some reason.
Well, good. Well, and well appreciated it is. It's been an awfully quick hour, so I promised I wouldn't hog you, but I will ask you to come back, if you will, at some point.
How could I refuse? The roller coaster ride is too much fun.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Bob Crane, CCRANE.com.
Happy holidays from WGN Chicago at AM 720 on your radio and on smart devices everywhere. Just by saying play WGN.